Well, good afternoon and welcome to a special edition of Island Sports Talk. I'm joined by the president of NACAC, Mr. Mike Sands. Obviously, yesterday, Mr. Sands, we've had the announcement that Carifta will, or is scheduled now to take place in 2021, July 2nd through 4th. We spoke with the president of the Bermuda National Athletic Association, Donna Rayner, following the announcement. But I just want to get a feel for the Caribbean, the region response to the dates being given and how things are transpiring, and we'll go forward from here.
Well, thanks again for having me. It's always a pleasure to be with you. I feel very, very good and very confident because the decision to put Carifta on the dates of July 2nd to the 4th was a collective decision by the membership, based on the survey that we sent to all of our members, because we wanted to get their input as to what direction they felt we should go. And as I indicated to you from the beginning, cancellation was never an option. And so the members, we wanted to engage the membership from the executive level, so we all, as our stakeholders. And so we agreed, the vast majority. And it wasn't a question of agreeing to a cancellation otherwise. It was just a preference of the dates. And the vast majority of the respondents and membership agreed that July 2nd to the 4th for competition would be the date that we would host Carifta in your beautiful island.
Now, obviously, there's still a lot to be decided as far as number-wise, how the events will be laid out because of the time of year. It's extremely warm in Bermuda. As is any other Caribbean country around such times of the year. But in June, we do experience a lot of hot weather. But there's still those unknowns. What are some of the concerns that have been expressed by the other islands or other countries with regard to taking part?
Well, really, the unknowns are not in our control. I mean, the concerns, obviously, and we have to be dictated. We are very, very excited, but also we are very cautiously optimistic because the unknown and the unseen enemy really will dictate as to how we would move forward. I want a lot of people to understand and bear something in mind. Bermuda was only 3 weeks away from hosting the games last year. So the concern about Bermuda and all the protocols from the meet management perspective is not our concern at all. Our concern with the cautious optimism is what the pandemic will dictate. And of course, we have to be guided. And so as excited as we may be, we have to be guided by the protocols and your authorities, your health authorities and your security authorities and otherwise. But the execution of the game itself is not a concern. We just are cautious because we don't know where we will be. And so we all have our fingers crossed and hoping that we will all be in a better place in months to come so we can proceed with the game. So again, as I said, just bearing in mind that Bermuda was only 3 weeks away from hosting the game. So if there's a plus to this, it's that it would give them a few more months to really tighten up any loose ends that may have been out there prior to the start of the games. So beyond that, I have no concerns at all.
I know we talked about it before and you were waiting for a kind of decision. Those athletes that have now aged out as of last year will not have an opportunity to compete this year. Is that correct?
Well, let me be quite honest with you, Earl. That issue was on the table for a very brief moment at the early stages, and it didn't really come back up. And so sometimes what we do is we take our cue from the members, and so while it was on the table for a short while, it did not come back up, and so it was never really debated in any entirety. I think more focus was on getting on with what we know that we are able to control, as opposed to creating another situation that would have taken a little bit more time for discussion and distract us a little bit. It is very, very unfortunate because I am not one that like to see anyone disenfranchised. But the plus to that is that we also do have other age championships that fall within the age limit of the Summit Carifta athletes, which is the under 18 and under 23 championship. So we also have that on our calendar shortly on the heels of the Carifta Games in Bermuda.
Definitely. Well, I know you're a very busy man. You've been in meetings all morning, and you're off to another one. I just wanted to have a quick chat regarding how the region is feeling, and especially from your standpoint as the president, in the debate. But I know you. I've known you for a little while now, but I could only imagine the smile that was on your face when it was relatively agreed that July 2nd to the 4th would be the dates.
Yeah, well, like I said, we've got an amazing group of members and membership from the executives down to the individual members, and we all actively engage. And so, yes, I feel a sense of relief because, as I said, we want to be more inclusive from the beginning that we talked about, and this is a part of our being inclusive, so that all of our stakeholders have a say in the way we move forward, so that there's collective responsibility. And so, I'm very, very excited about the prospect. I will always remain cautious because I'm a realist, but we all can only hope and pray that we will be able to get through this and we can get back to normalcy and start the health benefits of competition.
Well, Mr. President, thank you very much for your time. I will stay in touch with you, as I often do, when there are updates. So enjoy the rest of your day. Again, thank you for your time this evening or this afternoon for this Carifta update.
Thank you. And in closing, just permit me to also say to the people of Bermuda, as I say elsewhere, we just have to all fight this pandemic together. And so whatever the rules and regulations and the guidelines are, let us collectively work to eradicate this menace because we're all stakeholders in trying to get our health and our lifestyle back to normal. So I encourage everyone to pay attention to the rules, regulations, and the protocol, and encourage others with whom you come in contact with to do likewise. And the sooner we get all that done, the better we all be for it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.